preview. Hope you're excited to be here. We're excited to do some things for you tonight. My name is Dennis Swilp. I'm Director of Bands. This is Tom Sweeney. He's Associate Director of Bands. If you haven't met us, we'll be happy to visit with you. This has been a great 2 weeks for us in band camp. You probably haven't seen your students a whole lot. Some of you may be glad for that. These students, I'd like to point out, have been really great this last 2 weeks. They've been very flexible. We've got a few curveballs thrown at us, as usual. Right before band camp was about to start, we found out that we wouldn't be able to use the parking lot, which was our plan from the spring on. We've had some families step up. I'd like to thank especially the Crowley family with Palmer, the lot striping, that came out and helped us paint a field on the lower practice field down there. That allowed us to have a good set of lines for our band camp, so we're very appreciative for what they were able to do for us. But we've been pretty flexible, kind of went with the punches, and we've had a great band camp. It actually turned out to be a pretty good place to rehearse, actually better than the parking lot. So it worked out all right. With this ensemble, we really like to focus on a couple of things. Number one is the people, the students involved, the staff, everybody is involved. You as parents, we all like to think of ourselves as a big family, and these students are most important to us. We really like to place importance on the people in the band and also the process that we go through. We don't really emphasize winning, we emphasize improving and excellence. And as long as those things are happening, we're being excellent, we're improving each and every rehearsal. That's what it's all about, and being great people throughout the whole process. And that makes it for a great time, I think. These students seem to be having a good time. Last night at the pool party, they certainly had a great time. We're always impressed with these students. This year, once again, they always surprise us. People step into new leadership roles, and the character with which they exhibit is just always top-notch. We're so very proud of these students, very proud of their hard work and their dedication to the program. And it's just beginning, and we're also very impressed with a lot of you parents that have really stepped up this year. We've had some pretty big requests from you, and parents are starting to fill in, and we know that there will be more opportunities to volunteer, and we'd like to really encourage you to volunteer and help us out and help your students out and become part of the organization. And there's everything from driving trucks to helping us get equipment on and off the field, and we're going to have quite a bit of stuff to move, so we're going to need some help. So please get involved as much as you can, and please join the Music Boosters organization if you can. They do great things for our students, for the whole department, so we're very appreciative of them. I want to introduce to you the rest of our staff that's working with your students. A couple of them couldn't be here tonight, but I do want to introduce them. First is Julie Swope. She's down here. Band director at West Middle School, and she also acts as our visual designer and coordinator for the visual aspect of our program. One person that couldn't be here, Jennifer Randolph. She's our lead color guard instructor, and also Jessica Carter, our color guard instructor. We also have 2 percussion instructors working with us at this time. Along with color guard and percussion, there'll be some people coming in throughout the season to help us out in different capacities. But our principal percussion instructor is Derek Bowie. I believe he's back. And also Derek Winterberg, who couldn't be here tonight. He's been assisting with us as well. Yeah. Thank you. So these are the people that have been working with your students these last couple weeks. I am very appreciative of all of the staff that we have. I think it's a great team, and I think we've got a great show in store for you this season. It's a work in progress, obviously, at this point, and I think that you're going to really enjoy the music and enjoy the concept that we have. We'll talk about that in a little bit. First thing we want to do tonight, though, is kind of show you things that we've been working on this last 2 weeks. The first of which is basic fundamentals. For those of you that are new to the marching band activity, This is just kind of the basics where everything starts. Okay, band, will you face the end zone, please, away from the scoreboard? Band, can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Yeah, hopefully the audience can hear me. You guys hear me? Not really? Okay. I have to stand far away. Okay, the basic things that we start with are, number one is the attention position. And what we're looking for is uniformity in everything that we do. So everybody looks exactly the same with their body posture. We talked all about the body posture from how they're all in alignment from ankles, through their knees, through their hips, through their shoulders, up through their ears. And just standing tall and taking up as much space as they can. The idea is to make them look as tall as they can. Be proud, be tall. From this position, we use different commands that help them get in a line. This is a dress command. Dress, right, dress. At this point, they're allowed to look. You have to move and adjust their form so they can get everything all lined up just right. Ready? What? We practice horns up and horns down, so we get that snappy and quick, so it doesn't look sluggish, so it's very sharp and executed at the highest level. Bend, horn, up, horn, down, horn, up. And the next thing we do is start moving, actually getting to move. We spend a lot of time pursuing this. That was really exciting for them. So we start moving now. As we move forward, we're very specific about how they move. The actual steps that they take are actually 22.5 inches long, which is, as you're looking at yard lines, 8 steps to 5 yards. So every 5 yards they'll hit a yard line. And we've told them how to execute that by rolling through, placing their heel, rolling all the way through their foot, lifting their toes really high. So if you find your child out there and their toes aren't way up in the sky when they're moving forward, please get on them later on. Okay. Band, you're going to do 8s and 8s forward. Forward march, 8s and 8s. Forward 8, halt 8, forward 8, halt 8. Last one. Ready? Halt. Dress, left, dress. Ready? Front. Horn. Up. Then we do the same thing backwards. Backwards movement is a little bit different. They don't roll through there. They stay way up on their tippy toes, as high as they can, trying to make their upper body as smooth as possible. And that's what this looks like. 8s and 8s. Drag step. 8 and 8 drag step, please. Relax. Relax, sit down. Okay. Good, so forward and backward movement, but very rarely in the show do we actually move straight forwards and straight backwards, so we have to change directions. So we practice changes of directions. We have an exercise that we call the 40s, because it's 40 counts that it takes up, and it encompasses, when we do all of it, which we won't do tonight, if we do all of the 40s, it encompasses every possible direction change, forwards and backwards, and every which way, and every combination. So this is what the 40s looks like, and we'll go forwards and forwards. So we're moving forward, and we're actually moving forward in a sideways motion as well. Okay, set. All different directions, so we'll go backwards, backwards. So their sideways movement is also backwards. They're moving backwards, sideways movement is backwards. So we'll also do combinations of moving forwards, and then their sideways movement is backwards, or we're moving backwards and their sideways movement is forward. So we get all different direction changes. But right now we'll just do backwards, backwards. Backwards, backwards, set. So that really encompasses most of our basics. What we do is still a work in progress. We're still working on refining everything and making everything match exactly. That's what judges are looking for when we're judged, is a uniformity of style, that everybody is executing the same way, whether it's the toes being lifted really high or being way up on the toes, that everybody is the same. So we're continuing to work on that, making sure that we're in time, we're varying tempos, going really fast, very slow, so they get all those possibilities which we do in the show. Yeah. Okay. The other things that we've done, the marching band activity has changed a lot over the last, especially 10 years or so, where it's started incorporating a lot more body movement and dance, not only for color guard, but for the entire ensemble. And when you go to competitions, which we strongly encourage that you go to competitions and watch other bands, watch our students perform, you'll start to see some of this stuff. This show this year is very special. Again, we'll talk about it some more here in a little bit as they start to set up for it. But it involves a lot of character development as well. I'm sure you've heard them start talking about the show. If they haven't started talking to you about the show, start asking some questions. But so it requires them to become characters in this drama, so to speak. And so we're trying to get them to do different things, get them a little outside of their box. A lot of our students are very, some of them are very introverted, and we're getting them to become more extroverted. And it's working really well. The students are really buying into it, and they're doing lots of different things. Mrs. Swope has been working with them on movement, and as part of that, we've put together a little semi-dance movement routine I think you're going to enjoy. So we'll get them set up for that, and we'll share that with you here in just a second. Face front, please. We set up with sound in back. Oh, go back to your, take off harnesses. Percussion. Now make sure we set the block back. Are we good with sound? Okay. We'll see. Alright. You guys ready? Alright, set. How many parents are going, I didn't know my kid would do that? Yeah. Okay, great job, you guys. Okay, before we go on and do some other stuff, I want to introduce to you our student leadership team. The leadership team has done a lot. They met before band camp started, periodically throughout the summer, and have been kind of behind the scenes. They've also been working with your students, leading the sectionals. They've been doing a lot of the teaching of the marching technique, which really helps give them ownership, gives the students ownership in the organization, and they've done a fantastic job. So I want to introduce them to you. We have a list here, and I want you guys to come down in front, please, as I call your name. Our drum majors, Lizzie Lannon, Claire Majerus, and Hannah Myers. Our flute section leaders, Lauren Warkin, Sydney Timmerman. Roxy Mukau and Judy Zhang, our clarinet section leaders. Kylie Jacks and Rhiannon Zellmer, our saxophone section leaders. Logan Garten, our trumpet section leader. Jacob Trout, our mellophone section leader. Zoe Freck, trombone section leader. Devin Savage, our low brass section leader. Courtney Rowland, our section leader for battery percussion. Megan Hayday, our front ensemble or pit percussion section leader. And our color guard section leaders, Mariah Ariza, Kaylee Bacon, and V. Lee. These students have been great student leaders, and I think the students in their sections appreciate all of their hard work that they've done to help them learn how to do all the marching techniques and just kind of holding everything together these last 2 weeks. So thank you very much, leadership team. Thank you. Okay, we're going to have the band pull off in the front. Come down and sit on the sidelines, please. Percussion going back and get set up. So while percussion is getting set up, we'll go ahead and talk about our show this year. The title of our show, at least right now, is called The Red Mask. And the show is based or inspired by the Edgar Allan Poe short story, The Mask of Red Death. Don't worry, nobody's going to die in the show. Okay, no death in the show. We're just inspired by the show, or the story. And so our show is based on the story, not a literal translation of the story onto the field. It's not literal. We're just taking bits and pieces from it. There will be some voiceovers in the show. And as you can see, those of you that have been around for a few years can see things are set up a little bit differently. We have our front ensemble actually backfield. We have some parents working on some backdrops and some stage things that are going to add to the aspect of the show. But in actuality, the show, how we have it designed, is a take on the Mask of Red Death, whereas everybody is invited to the prince's castle to be saved from the Red Death. In our case, it's more of a conformity thing. So we're all going to a party at the castle, and you'll hear some of this in the music once we get going for the show. We have kind of a rock combo that'll be part of their electric guitar and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. But we're going to the party to be part of Be Saved, so to speak, but the red mask appears in the party and gradually takes over the band until we all become part of his red legion, so to speak, I guess, without a better word for it. So it should be pretty cool. We're pretty excited about it. We have lots of neat things to add as we go throughout the year. We're still in the early stages, and the music was written for us. We commissioned a composer to write the music for us, and he did a great job. We all really like the music, and it's really entertaining. We pull from classical music and with a little bit of different twist on it. Alright, percussion getting close. Okay, before we get to the show music and play something with the full band, percussion has a treat for you. In addition to working on show music as part of learning tools, they usually, the last 2 years, this past year and this year, have taken a popular tune and Mr. Bowie has created a percussion arrangement to work on technique and to be kind of fun because it's all tunes that the kids know. This year, the selection is Bohemian Rhapsody. So we're going to hear our percussion section, front ensemble, and battery with their version of Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay. Okay, we're going to get the band out here in a second. Our color guard instructor was able to make it here after work. Jennifer Randolph, she's down here in front. It's always a bonus to have an RN on your staff. We're going to play a couple things for you. Would you please stand for our national anthem? Fight song on Sons of Hickman. Okay. Stand ready. Thanks. Alright, the next thing we'll play for you, the show that we have, the Red Mask, will have 4 movements. The first movement is a short movement. The second movement is a little bit longer, and it really has 2 sections to it. Third and fourth movement, we're going to save. We're not going to play those yet. Okay. We're well on our way on those, but we're going to save those for a little bit. We feel really solid with the first two movements. I forgot to explain earlier when the percussion played, and you're going to hear it again, is that wonderful beeping sound that you hear. That is actually our metronome that we're using. At this stage of rehearsal, we're reliant on our metronome right now. Eventually we'll begin to wean off of the metronome and be able to hold those tempos consistently, but for learning purposes, we're keeping very consistent tempos so that we're have that all locked in and don't have to worry about trying to keep things together on our own. So eventually that will start to go away, but for now, you get to hear our metronome. It's affectionately referred to as Dr. B. Okay, so the first movement that you're going to hear from the show is based off of Verdi's Requiem, the Dies Irae from Verdi's Requiem. It's a very popular classical requiem, and you will probably recognize parts of it as you will throughout different parts of the show. The second movement consists mostly of Mozart's Requiem, the Lacrimosa from Mozart's Requiem, as well as the Dies Irae from Mozart's Requiem as well. Throughout the entire show, interwoven within those themes is another theme, Requiem for a Dream. That's a really cool tune. It's from a very bizarre movie, but it really adds to the character, and you'll hear that theme woven throughout the entire show. So I hope you enjoy this. This is the first two movements for the Red Mask. Now, if we just stood and played, you guys would be kind of disappointed, I know. We have been working on drill. We have this first movement all set to music and drill, and so we're going to share that with you now. So you actually get to see them play and move. They're doing quite well. We've been very proud of how they've handled the drill. They've handled it really quickly, efficiently, and things are really starting to lock in. It's not perfect yet, and it's going to continue to improve throughout the season. And we're excited for a great season this year. They've had a long week this week with the three-a-day practices. Their chops are a little tired. They've been digging really deep. Today was a really hard day after the pool party last night. Oh, you guys probably saw them try and get up in the morning. But they got themselves here. We had a few people that weren't feeling well, but they came anyway. They didn't want to not be here. So that's a testament for how much fun they're having, how much they want to be here and be part of this organization. So we really appreciate all the hard work they've done these last 2 weeks. Yes, thank you, students. All right, so what you're about to see is the first movement. There is a pre-show that we will be developing as we go throughout the season. It's not in yet, but essentially from what you heard musically, the beginning of the first movement, they're going to march and play it for you, and they're going to do a great job at it. Right? Here we go. Set.